What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. In today's video, an exciting shoutcast for you with a legend run in the Great League with this trainer running their favorite Pokemon of all time, and that is going to be Dubwool. Dubwool, still a fantastic pick in the meta with the normal typing and that ability to have that fighting coverage. I like electric type damage in this current meta. Wild Charge is going to do very well into a lot of things like the water types, Corviknight that has recently been added to the game. It's a very strong addition to this team, which is also going to consist of a Whiscash lead. Whiscash is one of the bulkier mud boys that doesn't have Mud Slap, so makes a lot of sense. Also, that two-turn Mud Shot being a little bit easier to work around in some situations than having to deal with Mud Slap. And honestly, my favorite pick of this team is going to be Morpeko. We have a mix of the old and the new on this team here in this legend run with this trainer running this super unique team. And let's just get into these games because I'm very interested to see Morpeko and Dubwool in action here. We see this first game with an Annihilate on the lead. We have only one set to go through, so I did slow the gameplay down to normal, 100% of the normal speed here. We're going to have the first matchup of this video here in this legend run in this first set. We're going to have Whiscash into the Shadow Annihilate, and that is going to be the Annihilate getting to its Rage Fist first here before the Whiscash decides to throw. That is going to pump up the attack of the Annihilate. We're going to see Whiscash immediately go for a Mud Bomb to put some pressure on a shield or do some heavy neutral damage to the Shadow Annihilate. Shadow Annihilate is something that I have recently rediscovered. I used to know the regular Annihilate, and now with the counter nerf, I had written it off as something that was just bad to use. But my goodness, Shadow Annihilate with Rage Fist, those counters are so incredibly painful. Now, it looks like the opponent could have gone to the Scald there, but they may have just wanted to go for the safe damage of that Mud Bomb. But going for the Mud Bomb leaves it in a very awkward range where these counters are going to hit really, really hard. Opponent going to go for either a Rage Fist or an Ice Punch here. Thankfully, they didn't have close combat. Opponent going for the Ice Punch there to get some huge damage, and these counters are just ripping through this poor Dubwool. Dubwool's going for the Body Slam, hoping for a knockout. Is it going to get it? Not enough, but in comes the Morpeko to get the Thunder Shock down. Thankfully, that was enough. If it had to take two counters, that would have been painful for it. Opponent not sure what to do. They may be core broken in the back by the Morpeko. They had their fighter in the lead. Are they weak to this dark type in the back? They have a Corviknight is their best thing to bring in. And they're going to fire off the Aura Wheel. Aura Wheel is going to boost the attack of the Morpeko. But was that a Feraligatr? Dude, Gator? And that the undercharge and the attack boost? Do we fully farm down this Gator? If that was, that was the best. That was the best undercharge I've ever seen. Very nicely done. That wins the game all on its own. Well played. And we start this legend set off with a 1 win to 0 losses. And we're going to get a nice lead in the next game here with Dunsparce. Dunsparce having rollout, one of the newer meta threats here, but Whiscash is here with its ground typing to be able to shut down these rollouts and deal some pretty good damage in return back with these Scalds and Mud Bombs. Opponent is going for a ton of energy, but ends up CMP tying the Whiscash, it looks like, or just barely getting this move in, but the opponent going for a move. I think I would have liked to see the Scald go a little bit sooner just to make sure if they could get the attack drop, but Whiscash is looking to play this matchup out. Really want to keep the Morpeko away with those drill runs, but Dubwool could also do fairly well here if at some point we want to swap out. Now, opponent throwing right away here, giving the Whiscash an entire free Mud Shot, which is not an ideal thing to do, but knowing that the opponent, you know, basically needed to throw this move or potentially lose, well, they wouldn't have even lost their, they wouldn't have even lost the Whiscash here, but they would have definitely been in a little bit of an awkward spot had they gone for one, because then the Whiscash could have thrown. So I guess throwing right away there makes sense, but now it puts Whiscash in a really good spot here to just let this go and give the farm. You could give it to the Morpeko. If Morpeko gets farm here, oh my goodness. Yep. So let's see what they decide to bring in here. I think the Morpeko energy is going to go somewhere, and they are going to agree here. Morpeko does get some energy to get this matchup started, and in comes a Talonflame, and I can already tell that this is going to be a good thing for Morpeko. Morpeko is going to be overfarming by a ton of energy here, looking to go for the perfect number of overfarm. You're going to go for 7 Thunder Shocks into these 3 Incinerates to get the perfect overfarm and force the first shield of this game. The opponent's not going to shield that up, or they are going to shield it, but not going to let that go, I should say. But now we're going to be going for these Aura Wheels. The Dark type Aura Wheel, even though it's not super effective, will still do a ton of damage into this Talonflame if it decides not to shield. This is going to do the second shield now. Is the opponent going to be... gonna go down because Morpeko is gonna live this and not give the farm down to this Talonflame, because 4 Thunder Shocks will cleanly get this Aura Wheel off. And let me hit my button. Oh, please, yes. Come on. Oh, it's beautiful. And with a 2 shield advantage, in comes Azumarill, and this is what I'm talking about. Electric damage is incredibly good into this meta right now. With 2 shields, this Dubwool could double up. Double it up, Dubwool. Go for the back-to-back wild charges and clutch this game, even though the Dubwool does not have the same type of attack bonus on these wild charges. It still most likely will knock out opponent going for that Ice Beam, not knowing that they probably should have waited to throw that energy, because these wild charges are about to put some pain on the blue bunny in the back here. Wild charge going through. It's enough. We go for the back-to-back, and that's going to take this second game here at a 2-0 victory over their opponents. Going for an undercharge. A cheeky little undercharge. Oh, that's just mean. We're not 2 shield flexing, though. We have to... Oh, man. Why are we playing with them? Don't be so mean. Don't be so mean here. Goodness, Morpeko's going to come and get bubbled out. We're just toying with our food. Trainer, have you no respect for your opponent? My goodness, I know we destroyed them, but holy. Good game. Oh, man, the opponent was not prepared for Whiscash. That was really what set that up, because they couldn't swap out. And speaking of not being prepared for Whiscash, in this next game, we have Drapion on the lead, which is going to take a hefty amount of damage from these mud shots and is going to be forced to come into their chase swap with the Kanto Marowak. Now, we're going to see if we go for the Scald. Going for the Scald right away here would be the ideal thing, because you do get that Scald in, I believe, just before the opponent would finish their 4th Mud Slap. But that's all right, because we're going to be seeing them probably go for a Mud Bomb here to get the shield, and maybe afterwards go into... You really can't go into anything here. I mean, even Dubwool isn't going to do very great. So we're going to have to see what the player here decides to do. They are going to get the first shield here, but can we get another one with the Scald? Opponent going to throw right away here when they get to their move, and that's just going to put another shielding decision here on the Whiscash instead, as Whiscash does need to throw the Scald here to get a knockout, and at this point we've already committed, but no, Whiscash is just going to go ahead and fire off this Mud Bomb, hoping to get the second shield and maybe save some energy for later. It's getting pretty low, and I'm not entirely sure what to do. Oh my goodness, is it really going to get there? All right, so we go for 2, and then the move, and in comes the Corsola, and oh boy. Well, payback would be preferred here, but Wild Charge will still put in a lot of work. However, I think that these Wild Charges are probably... It's going to take quite a lot of Wild Charges to get rid of this thing, but not throwing until the opponent does is a really strong move, because they do have Astonish. They will never be able to farm down this Dubwool with any relative ease, at least. And Morpeko, if this is their best response to a Dubwool, Morpeko is looking incredibly strong in the back. Gonna have to see what the opponent's final Pokemon is to see if Morpeko can pull off yet another sweep. But I have a good feeling that if the opponent's best response to a Dubwool is Corsola, that Morpeko is just about to eat, because it will also be able to have a shield advantage. And I think that's at this point what this trainer's looking to do, is just save the shield for Morpeko and just let it rip. Morpeko is salivating in the back. In comes the Morpeko, and the opponent's not going to be able to get much damage in. They're going to have the Marowak. They can go for the Seed Bomb here, and that should hope... I don't know if that's enough. So I've played the Kanto Marowak side of things. I don't actually know if this is enough damage, but Seed Bomb will do a ton of damage from Morpeko. It's just enough to get the knockout, and the opponent in shambles here, as they likely have something in the back. Weak to Morpeko, because it's the Drapion. The opponent's final Pokemon was the Drapion, and they go for the swap in to get the charge move off. The Mud Bomb is going to do enough damage here, and Morpeko actually now resets back to its hangry, or not the full belly form here. But is the opponent even going to be able to get to the... Oh, they're going to get farmed down before they even get the chance, man. Oh, that Drapion's loaded on energy, but absolutely depleted in its health. And that's just, it's done. The Corsola, I don't think, is going to be able to get to a move. Morpeko wins charge attack priority here and has enough HP to live some of these moves. Going for another undercharge. Man, just charge the move. I would be so excited I'm about to hit Legend with this team if I were this trainer. I couldn't do it, man. But the opponent decides to concede, knowing they have no win conditions, and that's going to be a good game well played. I haven't made the title yet, but I'm going to say it. This Dubwool team is disrespecting its opponents in the Great League. I have to do it. We get another Shadow Annihilate here. Annihilate looking to do as much counter damage as it like they can here, but is the opponent going to swap out at some point to either try and catch a move, perhaps? Now, we'll see if they play it out the exact same way as last time. Looking to go for the Mud Bomb on the CMP this time and let the first move go, knowing it's just a Rage Fist and they can live this move. Rage Fist is going to boost the attack of the Annihilate here, but it's going to have to decide whether it wants to shield a potential Scald first, because we did build up to the Scald here, and honestly, yep, we get the shield because that Scald would do quite a bit of damage here, and we can get to another move. This Scald is going to be reached. This trainer is really learning from last time, but unfortunately, this opponent knows they need to swap out in order to preserve this Annihilate. So we are going to see the Morpeko come in, and with a shield advantage, this thing is just about to clean up as Morpeko can overfarm all it wants here and get rid of this Azumarill when it's ready and the energy is gone. We have Morpeko charging up very quickly with Thundershock. A single Aura Wheel would definitely do it. Shielding up this Ice Beam is definitely the correct play here, as they're going to be able to overfarm by a ton, going for 4, and then the move. Extremely good timing in this video here so far. And we're undercharging, hoping to get a farm down after the Azumarill no shields us, because we know they do. And another wonderful undercharge from this trainer, going for a Thundershock down, but having to throw the move. It's gonna be forced to take some moves from this Annihilate. But the nice thing about Morpeko in the switch timer is those extra few seconds you get after you throw the Aura Wheel or the Seed Bomb, or any move really at all. You're going to be able to wait out those last few seconds and looking to get into the Dubwool to try and get off. But now that the opponent is basically, they're going to counter down at this point. The clock did not come up. Aura Wheel is reached once again. This is going to knock out this Annihilate. Oh, that's so satisfying, dude. And in the back, they have a Drapion. Dubwool's looking to come in and with a shield advantage. This game looks to be over. I don't even know if the Wild Charge is going to be enough here, but we're going to find out. Now, do we have any more disrespect at this point? I'm expecting it. I'm expecting the disrespect. The opponent's going to go for a charge move. Dubwool has some pretty decent bulk. Was that a Sludge Bomb? I saw a Sludge Bomb. I know I did. Going for one double kick and then the charge move here. Looking to go for Body Slam to soften up the Drapion, and then likely going to go for the Wild Charge afterwards. And that's going to secure a 4-0 victory here in this set after the opponent throws this final charge move. And that by itself will secure Legends. So that's already really exciting. Now, I'm very curious to see what this final game has in store for us, because the opponent now just concedes. They don't even want to take the Wild Charge. It's like, you know what? We'll play it. You know what? That's unfortunate, because I would have liked to see that land. Anyway, into the final game we go here with this. This is a very unique team. I won't even lie. The final battle is here upon us, and we get a... Oh, not the Wiggles, dude. Get this thing off my screen. Wigglytuff in the lead in the next game, and this is already just looking really nasty. It depends what the opponent has in the back, but more often than not, Wigglytuff ends up having a Mud Slapper in the back like Gastrodon. So it's gonna really, I think this game will definitely come down to Morpeko and whether or not it's gonna be able to handle whatever's in the back. Now, the nice thing here is that we do get the shield here with this Scald. Gonna let this move go. Even a Swift probably doesn't knock out. Opponent likely going for that Icy Wind though, as they do. Freaking Wiggly players, man, I'm telling you. They're going to go for the Scald here, trying to get maybe an attack drop. And then we'll bring in Dubwool, I imagine, to try and get rid of this thing and just hope that in the back that Morpeko will be safe to finish up this game. Now, unfortunately, this farm down does mean that Dubwool is going to have to put in some work. Perhaps a double kick plus the Body Slam should be enough here. If the Wigglytuff doesn't win charge attack priority, very, very interesting overcharge here. I would have liked to see them go for the Body Slam before the Wiggly got to move off. It's just so likely that there's probably going to end up being a Mud Slapper in the back. I would just be absolutely terrified to be taking this much damage on my Dubwool, but that's okay. This trainer knows their team better than I do, and I'm going to watch them win this game too, I'm sure. This is going to be a Body Slam to KO the Wigglytuff, and if the opponent has something in the back, and it's the Whiscash. Now, hold on a minute, because Whiscash is not going to enjoy this Seed Bomb being thrown at it, and if the opponent has been paying attention to Go Battle League for the last season or so, people do run Seed Bomb on Morpeko. Is Morpeko going to get the KO? No, the opponent respects the Seed Bomb, but with two shields, this getting to another Seed Bomb, no problem, but the amount of Mud Shot damage, Dugong comes in. This is an opportunity. Can we get the move on? No, we need to get to 2 charge moves. This might just not be enough. This is unfortunate because that opponent's Whiscash is just too healthy. I think this Morpeko's taking too much damage. It's not going to make it, man. It's not going to make it. We can't switch out. The opponent can just farm down. The Aura Wheel is reached, and now the sadness in my brain is just, oh, we're going to lose this game, aren't we? Man, that was so close. I genuinely think that if the Wiggly had gone down a little bit sooner and the Dubwool had some more HP left, I do think that it could have handled this. But wait, we still have 2 shields, even though the Mud Shot or the Mud Boy, the Whiscash, there we go. Whiscash is absolutely locked and loaded with energy. We can maybe get to 2 more body slams before the opponent gets to 3 charge moves. Let's see if Dubwool can pull this one off. Getting in there for the Hail Mary, going for all those body slams. Come on, Dubwool, you can do it, buddy. Opponent gives a full free move to the Dubwool. Just going for 1 body slam here might even be close to enough. If he can get to 2 more, come on, you can do it. You can do it, buddy. Come on, Dubwool. Double up on those body slams and you can make it. We're almost there. Just 1 more body slam and that's going to clinch this game for this trainer. The opponent has the move. Oh, it's tragic. That was such a close game, dude. Oh, jeez. Oh, this stupid Whiscash. Stupid fish. That's all right. The opponent maybe got the win, but we won the war, clinching a 4-1 up to legend rank. Congratulations on getting to legend with such a unique team. Morpeko is just such a fun Pokemon to run, and Dubwool, man, I love it when someone can run a Pokemon that they genuinely love and enjoy using to get to legend rank, because so many teams that are like, well, you have to run the meta, you have to run a Azumarill and Drapion and Diggersby, and this trainer said, you know what, nah, I'm gonna run my sheep. And I'm going to sheep all over this Great League meta. And that's going to do it for me for today's video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Take care. You have a great rest of your day, noon, afternoon, morning, wherever it is where you are. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.